And Aoife, my friend Aoife, large lady, but
Large?
Well, like not like big,
strong.
like tall and strong. Okay, cool.
Just as he's going to his private tent, I'm gonna just say to the others, this is a very wise, very smart man. Be delicate in your words. Try not to lie too much. He'll see right through.
I mean, I haven't lied at all yet. He seems
I haven't said a single word.
He seems I don't know. Yeah, I agree. I've assessed. I did an ocular pat down and assessed him in a similar manner.
Was it a monocular pat down?
That's how Lotruda does them. Just one eye.
Okay, yeah, so you can enter his private tent. The guards will stay, like, outside.
When we get into the tent, I'm gonna do like a big stretch from like being hunched and take my hood down. It seems we both haven't aged that well, hey?
Well, it's been a rough, couple of decades since we saw each other. I noticed you're,
I've lost some weight.
yeah, what happened?
Where we stand now, about a decade ago, you must have heard, me go missing. Well, that was a battle between the orcs. Maybe it was this portal, maybe it was nearby, but I was torn apart by beasts. The orcs themselves saved me.
Wow.
Strange.
I mean, I don't think orcs are all bad. We've had help here, actually. They've been surprisingly kind for what we put them through.
Yep. I'm nowhere near as quick on the draw when it comes to knowing people as you, and I've eventually come to a similar conclusion. It's a bit to take in, but yes, I also believe that just because their skin is green doesn't mean they are mean.
That's a great way to put it. So
I'm gonna like scoop him up into like a big one-armed hug. Oh. I'm so sorry I could not bring you with me when I was posted by Shite Whistle.
it's fine.
I mean, you had so much potential, but you ended up here anyway. What the fuck? What rank are you? What is happening? I thought you would be, in the courts as a high mage. What's
Well,
going on?
I am kind of. I'm like a war mage, I suppose. But I was posted here because of the thing out there. I've been one of the ones working to figure out how to deal with it. Not many other people can. Not to mention a lot of the illusion, and he kind of side eyes Harry. Has been my work. It's not always upkept by me.
I'm sorry.
Because obviously it requires a lot of concentration. Usually there are a few mages working on it at any time to uphold it. It's interesting to know that we can stitch spells together, because I think that may actually help with this this illusion thing I have going on, rather than having so many spells being cast at once. There might be. I'm getting off topic though. That's very exciting, but yeah, I mean, I ended up here because of this disaster, and I do believe it's the same thing that took you, because you were not the only one who was teleported away. There were a lot of people who went missing. We didn't find most of them. And the ones that we did, not many of them are still alive. A lot of them were injured quite badly. So I'm happy to find you. We didn't think we would. We didn't know if you deserted or if you were part of what got taken away, but
You know my story. I've always been on the verge of, desertion.
yeah. Also, to warn you, he's not here right now, but Shite Whistle is the one who, in theory, is in charge of this whole thing. So he may show up while you're here, depending on how long you stay. I don't know what that means for you.
Would it be possible for you to not have recognized me?
Sure. I can do that.
It is a lot going on. Spoke to my brother recently. We are up here to help things. Things not Lucent, but worldly in general.
Okay.
Are you familiar with Baba?
Can't
No.
say I am.
Shit, no, Baba, the other one.
Oh,
The guy that's not a fish.
Wait, Babar's a fish?
No, Baba's an
no.
elephant.
Yeah, okay, that's what I thought. Yeah, Babar's an elephant.
Tartar.
Oh,
Tartar.
Tartar. Yeah, the
Tartarus.
fishman.
Are you familiar with Tartarus?
That's a name I'm familiar with, yeah.
He's the one that has been leading the information from the pamphlets.
Oh. I suppose that makes sense. And then,
By the way,
again, you kind of see, like, wheels turning, and he's like, but he was mostly a fiction writer. Wasn't he?
So, it turns out, the book, I'm sure you read it, it was in the library at the barracks, the one of the world traveler.
Yeah.
This was not as fiction as you may think.
Oh.
My friend here comes from a distant planet, Chicago.
Yeah, Chicago.
She-
It's a city. It's a city on Earth.
Okay.
It's in a state.
It
Sure.
sounds like a
I don't know.
it sounds like a desolate place with large bombs and
Well, I mean, there's nice spots.
was it
Oh,
there's evil president that runs the he's
Well, I
told
mean-
me many things, but he's
Okay.
managed to escape the place and come back here, which is good. And Eva, my friend Eva, large lady, but
Large.
Well, like not like big. Like,
strong.
tall and strong.
But she is probably the probably the closest person I found to match your intelligence in a while.
Wow.
Hmm.
That doesn't happen often.
She's a quick learner, so if there's anything you can teach her.
Okay. Yeah. I'm sure. I mean, again, depending on how long you stay, we're gonna try to help each other out. You seem to know more about the portals than I do. if only because you know that there were more than one. So yeah, I'm sure I can help you out with your learning, teach you some new magic stuff. Maybe we can figure out this stitching of spells together. Have you tried it at all yourself, or how much magic have you figured out?
Well, I'm not mainly a wizard.
Okay. That
But,
explains your stature a little more, and most wizards don't look like you. And that's not a
particularly.
slight by any means.
You know, on account of how big you are.
Keep in mind, Darren's like sickly, like.
Yeah.
Well, you look too fat to be a proper wizard. No.
Like Darren looks like constantly anemic. Have you seen The Big Bang Theory? You two.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know the comic book shop owner, Stuart.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like.
Yeah. Okay. But yeah, I mean, even better that you're just beginning. Honestly, sometimes it's harder to teach people who have bad habits already.
Yeah, I come from a village that was one of the earliest portals open there. And that's when I began to learn.
Okay. I mean, I'd love to hear just about that as well. The more knowledge about the portals themselves, the better.
Yeah, we can talk about it.
Do you have a place we could rest up?
I can certainly make that happen. I will, I'll get another tent put up for you.
By the way, where is the other chapman?
Oh, he's actually around here somewhere too.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I mean, I can arrange for you two to meet, in such a way that your cover isn't blown.
He always was the jester of
something
the
you
group,
wanted.
but I trust him more than anyone that was there.
Yeah, yeah, I can definitely make that happen. So I'll get you guys a tent set up. I'll find Norris, and yeah, hopefully you guys can rest, and we'll, I guess, get started tomorrow on figuring out what more we can do. Because I mean, I'm kind of at a loss at this point, so it's good you showed up.
I think we're kind of at a loss here too, honestly, with this one. This is another level from the ones we've seen for sure.
Yes, but the more information we can share, the more we can help each other, I hope. So.
For sure. And again, sorry about disparaging your illusion magic.
No problem. You give me fiery vibes, and so it does not surprise me that your personality is as fiery as your magic may be.
Yeah, it wasn't to disparage the actual like spell casting. It was more like the thought put into the illusion itself made it like suspicious, if you know.
No, that's totally fair.
Also, how are you saying this? But it was Aoife that went through.
True. Yeah, it did. Yeah, I wasn't able to break through it first.
Fair.
I just walked through it.
It is meant to be difficult to both find and to get through. It is dangerous when people try to get through, but luckily the alarm goes off whether you cross it or not. So we can usually send a party out to see what was going on and deal with it in whatever way needs to be dealt with. So I am happy to find you our friend and not foe.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a twitch in Aoife's face when he says that. Not in Aoife's face, sorry. Lotruda's face.
All right, where were we? Darren was gonna give you, a tent to chill in.
Yeah, because we're gonna hang out and do some studying of this gosh darn thing.
Mm-hmm. So that can happen. You tell me what you want to do now. I'm done with my expositioning.
So who does Lotruda want to kill? Is it Scheithauser or whatever?
Shite whistle, yeah.
Okay,
Giant Whistle.
right.
Which is the one that sent me here in the first place, like 20 years ago, when they tried to force me into marriage with them.
We gotta talk about timelines here. Because the portal started like 2.5 years ago.
Right.
But I felt like I didn't go through a portal. I went into the Fae.
Yeah, but it's the same catalyst.
Yeah. And Lotruda's been like they are.
So it
now.
could have been sent here that long ago, but just for the purposes of like the portal thing, that was like
Yeah.
2.5, 3 years ago.
So the one that happened to Aoife was one of the first ones. So that can only have been 2.5 years ago then.
It would have been like this one that Lotruda dealt with would have been like super early.
Mm-hmm.
And so yours would have happened like around the same time, like a little bit after. But
Yeah.
like it could have been like a week after.
Yeah. That's fine. Okay, so about 2.5 years.
Yeah, 2.5
So when
3
that
years ago.
first happened, she probably spent like 3 to 6 months trying to support her family, and like one of her brothers got stuck in the swamp, and
Yeah.
like, the water came through and like acid and shit.
Mhm.
And it's only when she saw the magic happening in like the hospitals in the major villages outside of where they live that she was like, oh, maybe magic is the only way of dealing with this.
Mhm.
So then she spent maybe 2 years going through schools, and the thing is though, Aoife couldn't write before this, so she's had to learn to write to go to school, and everything she knows about balls within 2 years.
I think
Okay.
that's fine.
As long as that's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I'm
your
fine with
knowledge
that.
level isn't like super high. It's sort of like
Your
you are just
potential
learned.
for
Yeah,
understanding
it's the
information
fact that
is
she's
very high.
only just started and she's that determined because of what happened back home and what is still happening back home because it's not over yet.
And you could consider too, depending on like when the wild magic stuff started happening, that could coincide with, like the portal.
Yeah, that would be good. Yeah, I think that makes sense. Definitely a lot of changes happened and she's been trying to deal with that. Also, with now knowing that like the portal is still back home and that she has a pamphlet of how to fix it, she's going to be wanting to fix that one soon.
For sure.
Especially because seeing this one that opened up at a similar time?
Yeah.
So the one back home
No.
looks like this.
This one has been messed with a lot.
Oh, okay.
So it's kind of been like pushed forward in like what a natural
Okay.
progression would be.
Okay.
So like most other like of all the other portals like any party member has seen, most of them have not gotten to the point where things are really coming through. So yours being one of the earliest ones, like it's one of the few that has progressed to the point where like something did come through.
Yeah.
And then like your characters do not know this, but for the sake of like understanding the backstory, the first ones to open up are like more unstable than ones that opened up later.
Okay. So for Aoife's village, and we can work out the technicalities of this, there was an environmental disaster because of the portal.
Yes, yeah.
Because they were like a fishing lake and boat builders, so fishing and boat building. And the portal opened on the lake. It's not necessarily monsters that came out, but it's the sulfur
Yeah.
stuff that made the whole lake toxic and acidic,
Yes.
and
Yeah.
then-
Yeah. Yeah.
caused like environmental disaster.
Yeah. I know what happened,
Okay.
but you don't know what happened.
Okay. Okay.
So like I yeah.
She knows like obviously the aftermath of it came through.
Yes. Yeah.
People
Yeah.
that were in the water at the time either died or got like really badly burnt and scarred and disfigured. And then it obviously, after that that first kind of violent action of the coming through, it was that slow thing of we can't feed ourselves now, we can't make the money building the stuff that we were building, and it's that economic collapse of the place too. That was. So she's like, we're dealing with a family that got injured on that first day, and then realizing the effects, sort out way to closing it.
Yep.
But she
that
doesn't
makes
know what
sense.
state it's in anymore or why it started in the first place or anything like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
All right. What now?
This dog. What?
He's very needy today.
I don't know what's going on with him.
That's
You've been
very
out?
cute,
You've been
though.
to the park? What's the matter?
I think he's been staying at my mum's for like
Oh.
the past week. So
Needy.
yeah, she's super affectionate with him. So he's probably just used to being constantly cuddled.
No, I don't know what's going on.
This
When's
is
it
the
come up?
weirdest position you've ever chosen to be in. Where does my arm go?
Oh, that's very cute.
It's very cute, but he's like leaning like in my like hip crook. So I can't put my leg down. I'm just stuck like this forever. Also, like my arm is supposed to be where he is, so I guess it just exists up here now, and I'll just look weird for forever.
And Chris and I
Um,
are here just sad and alone with no animal.
Well,
I've got
I
the
saw
cat.
Lou-
Ginny visit earlier.
Lou was here before. I was giving him a fuss, and when I stopped, that's when he ran into Ashley's office.
I've got Bertha and Lou, but no Ginny. I don't know where Ginny is. Like, we're not let Ginny outside, have we?
No, she's literally on the couch behind me.
Is she? Okay, that's fine. I was
Oh,
just using
so
that
I'm the
animal
only
in
one
the
without
red.
an animal. I understand.
Sorry, Red. We only have one animal, so.
You can't
True.
see. She's
No.
behind the chair.
Okay. Oh, you got Lou now.
Okay, what are you guys doing? Tell me.
I don't know, honestly.
Can Aoife start asking, is it Darren? Darren?
Darren Chapman.
Like, trying to learn more from him.
I mean, yeah, what do you want to ask him about?
So I guess, like, because like she said about sharing more of the story, so she starts, like what we just talked about, saying
Yeah.
that she first came across it 2.5 years ago in a village, and like what happened there, and she's concerned at what's happened, you know, how it's progressed since she left, and the sort of disaster it caused, and then saying like, you know, she's been on this task to try and find out more, spread the news, spread the pamphlets that have come from Tartarus, but she also wants to like develop her own wizard skills. But and then maybe she could say something along like, she's only had the ability to learn this since the portal opened or something. It's like an offside just comment, like I seem to be able to do some of this now.
been
So
awaiting
I've been
this.
trying to learn more about this so I can prevent this happening to anybody else. So she kind of goes in with that and then saying, if there's anything you could teach me that will help me along that way, or improve my skill level, or get me to a point where I can, then yeah, she'd like to learn that.
Okay. I mean, he will be very interested in hearing the story of like the portal, and he'll probably ask like very, very specific questions about what happened and things like that. So we don't have to actually like run through those
Yeah.
things, but like that's the way that conversation would go. And then as far as like you gaining the skills to be able to close the portals, like he's looked through the pamphlet, and like he understands how high a level the spells are. So while he knows, like he's like, he can see the potential in you to eventually be able to cast those spells. It does take like a lot of time and effort to get to that point. And so like, not to discourage you, but he does kind of like say like it's probably best to find somebody who is a higher level wizard to like deal with it like immediately.
Yeah.
But for future, obviously, like can work on training up to having
yeah.
those skills for like if this ever happens again kind of thing.
You're gonna have to kill a lot of bandits.
No, that's for the barbarian. That's not for the wizarding.
You can practice with magic on some bandits.
I suppose that's true. I suppose that's true. So Aoife wants to have this conversation. What do the other two of you wish to do?
I think I'll be like, I kind of want to go study the portal, I think, and just
Okay.
like try to like discern a deeper meaning from this different, much bigger portal.
Okay.
Maybe try to discern where it goes. I don't know how the other portals work. Can we see the other side of the other portals when we like look through them? Like when my portal went to Chicago, I could see Chicago on the other side, couldn't I?
Yeah.
So this one we can't really see anything. And like from what you've described, it seems like there's like a plane of magic, or like a plane of like non-corporalness on the other side of it.
Yeah, so Harry has seen a portal go from being almost nothing to like blasting with magic and like tearing it open further to being able to see like a single destination.
Yeah.
This beast of a portal like I said, it's kind of like sensory overload. Can you do me? I want to say insight.
Ooh,
Okay.
that whiz.
I don't have a lot of whiz, really.
Do you have proficiency in insight?
I do have proficiency in insight.
Okay, never mind then.
Do I still roll it?
Yep.
Oh, okay. Sorry, you said never mind.
Yeah, no, I was just gonna offer you proficiency because it was based on magic, but
I got 20.
Okay.
Not natural.
okay. So spending some time looking at the portal and basing it on your previous knowledge of what looking through other portals has looked like, and this being like just like utter chaos, you think that if you were to go into this portal, it could lead you to a multitude of different places, and there's no way to figure out where that is.
Oh, okay. So it just sends us somewhere random. Okay.
Well, yeah, it sends you somewhere random.
Okay.
Because like the more you stare at it, the more you can pick out places. But it's not one place. It's like you catch like a glimpse of like a tree, and then you catch a glimpse of a building, and then you catch a glimpse of like a strange sky. Like it's a bunch of different places kind of like weaving around inside this chaotic glow.
Okay.
Is there anything else you want to try to pick out specifically about or around the portal?
I mean, the first thing, like, the stuff I'm picking out, like, am I picking out places I recognize, or are there other places I don't recognize?
Both. Like,
Okay.
you think like, oh, like maybe that's a tree from my childhood home, or like, oh, I think I saw like a street sign I recognize, but other
Okay.
places are like completely foreign to you.
Is Harry the cause of it all?
Can I try to extend my magic powers to the portal and try to direct where it's going?
Do you want to shove more magic?
Like, I don't want to put magic into it. I just want to see if I can affect its destination.
How close are you getting
like
to
grabbing
the
a
portal?
steering wheel rather than pressing the accelerator.
I'd probably, like, I don't know, as close as I feel comfortable.
How close is that?
Like, pretty close.
Okay.
Like, without touching it.
How much you want a new character?
Okay, so you calm yourself and you reach out toward the portal. And you don't feel so much like you don't feel like you can control it. It feels uncontrollable. Like you are the like getting closer to it, you're already feeling this like thrum of magical energy. The closer you get to it, the less on beat it is. Like it's no longer like thrumming like with your like natural rhythm. It's like throwing off your rhythm. And it feels like any magic that you were to do, you might not cast what you want to cast. Like it's an overwhelming amount of energy.
Yeah, okay. Alright, I'll leave. We should find a wild magic sorcerer that's high level. That's what we should be looking for.
Shall we put on a competition?
So
Let's
what's
start the
Lotruda
brawl.
wanting to do right now?
Lotruda is staying in like a very small area,
Fair.
not moving around at all. Really giving it the exaggerated limp and things like that to stay just away and be conspicuous, but in a like, oh, there's a weird like cripple with these people.
Like, oh, just some veteran exists over there.
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah.
like I'm wearing like
you can,
just a big
you can
cloak
do that.
with
Yeah.
hood up, like shivering every now and again to make it feasible for me to be wearing a cloak.
Sure.
Also, just kind of keeping an eye out for Norris.
Okay. As the day goes on and like the sun drops, it's kind of like twilight hours. Norris will show up to your tent so that you can kind of like keep your cover rather than like being walking around.
I don't think I gave you much of a description of Norris, did I?
He's just a big dude. That's all I know.
Yeah, he's a big dude, but he's like he's almost like a complete opposite to Darren.
Okay.
Like he's really strong, and like you can tell, like just being near him, that he's like the majority of it is just muscle. Just naturally a strong guy, and he's less like he does like blanket reads of people, you know, rather than like Norris. Sorry, Darren is like a more like he'll look at you individually, and then, but Darren's like he can read a crowd.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like, very, very the class clown type of person.
Okay.
Very, very emotional, very caring. Almost too much so when he's giving you a big bear hug.
Okay. Yeah, so I mean, I think like knowing that, like when he walks into your tent, like he like says nothing, has a giant smile on his face, just kind of like walks over, like picks you up in a bear hug.
It's weird for Lotruda being so big to be like tossed around like that,
Yeah.
but Lotruda's just like a ragdoll.
And then, you know, he says like, I thought I'd never see you again. I'm so glad to see you.
It's good. It's very good to see you. Like I said to Darren, I apologize that you couldn't come with me when I was sent away, but it was best for me just to take the punishment on my own rather than dragging the whole lot of you down. I've not really heard word from Victaliasa or Varys either, but I'm sure they are doing well as well.
Did you use my old character name in it?
Yeah.
Was this you? Okay. I had a character called Victoria like 5 years ago.
Yeah, so I just basically have a little catch up with Norris. Give a brief thing of what's been going on. And I know Norris was, because Darren was kicked out and Norris went with him. He's been very like almost the same as Lotruda, with the like the seething hatred towards like royal lordly families and things like that. So very like anti-disestablishment. So I feel like Lotruda is probably a lot more close with Norris than Darren, but trusted Darren more than Norris, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But we'd probably have a drink together and just have a chat about crap.
Yeah.
For
Yeah, he'll
the
like
majority
fill
of
you
you.
in on whatever's gone on, you know. Yeah. Just like any little thing. Like, he'll probably tell you about like, you know, like a couple of ladies and like some bar fights and just like any sort of like fun anecdote that he can tell you is what he's probably going to tell you about. I don't think anything like particularly serious has happened, if that makes sense. Just kind of like living daily life and like sticking with Darren like as much as he can, with like where Darren's been posted and
The
stuff.
vibe I'm getting, I knew, like, everyone knew that Darren was going to do really well, like, in the military. But because he was, like, sent away because of his constitution by his family, because he was such a sickly child, they were just like, ugh, send them off. And then Norris went with him. But everyone knew Darren was going to do well. So is like Norris just sort of like rising with Darren, or is he doing just as well as Darren would have done?
I think he is average, but has been ever so slightly brought along. Like I don't think he lacks the merit to be at the position that he's in. But had Darren not been his brother, he may not have done it, even if it was just like lack of like motivation to succeed. Like if he were left to his own devices, he probably would have just kind of like meandered along rather than rising through the ranks.
I think as well with the Norris and Darren thing, Norris is a lot more well liked than Darren. Like Norris can like entertain a whole crowd. Like they called him the jester a lot, like in the camp, because he'd be always fooling around and keeping everyone entertained, keeping on the good side of everyone somehow.
I think that's a good point too. I think the same way that Norris may not have made it to where he is, Darren has probably been seen more favorably by people because of Norris.
Oh yeah.
I think that makes sense.
He'd be
Because,
like, oh yeah, I know your brother.
I mean,
like,
yeah, exactly. Like, I think there are probably a few reasons based on what you've told me that people may not like Darren a little bit, like just uncomfortable with the fact that he regularly looks sickly. People don't really like being around sick people. And then also, whether you had this in mind, I've clearly given him a penchant for kind of like going off on his own, like in his like own mind. And I think that kind of like puts people off a little bit, and I think that kind of lends it to that like more logical versus Norris's like obvious emotionalness.
yes, it's the like trope of geniuses in like TV shows and stuff where they expect everyone else to keep up with what they're doing, but then they realize that, oh wait, no, people aren't keeping up with what I'm doing. So there's a lot of translation that goes on between Darius.
That's like the couple name, yeah. Yeah, and I think Darren's gotten better at dealing with people who aren't as smart as him. But
Yeah.
definitely when he was younger, that is definitely the case. Now he realizes that like if he wants to have an intelligent conversation, he very likely just like has to have it with himself, which is like why he kind of like goes off into his mind, because he knows that if he says those things out loud, nobody understands him anyways. Which is also why he's like, ooh, Aoife, smart, sweet, maybe, just maybe, somebody will understand me. So
I
that's
think
interesting.
Lotruda may have oversold Aoife there.
Look,
Well,
like,
we'll find
that's
out.
what we're saying as well. Aoife's only just started.
Yeah.
Like, is little Babby. Not even
She
through
is
the
fairly
bachelors.
young. She's like early 20s. You know, she is quite young and new to it all. So she has a long way to go.
But the potential is there.
Potential's there.
I think with Aoife being so young as well, when Aoife's like disappointed in Lotruda, you know, when Lotruda does something wrong, I think that's what hurts more. It's like, oh, like they're not looking up to me anymore.
But it's like one of those things where like a lot of young 20-odd-year-olds, they're like, they've got a very defined right and wrong in the head, usually. They've seen
Yes.
less grey area and less context, so she's like, oh, you did that, but that's not what you're supposed to do. You know, so she's very black and white.
Yeah.
often with seeing things.
God, remember back in the day when people in their 20s weren't young people?
You mean when
I was
just
kind of
us?
thinking that the whole time. I'm like, what is the average lifespan in this world?
Oh, that's an interesting point. I mean, it's a magical world. So like
Well, the average
the
lifespan
rich
as
are
well.
gonna throw off the, the average age because they have
I
access
will
to
not
magic.
buy that 20-year-olds were ever wise. I will not buy.
True. Oh,
I
yeah.
think they were wise, but it's all relative, right? If that's as old as you ever get, that's as wise as you'll ever get.
Also, the average age as well is usually dragged down by infant mortality. So
True.
the average age wouldn't have been that much different.
Yeah, when people say, oh, people died at 30, they didn't. It's just a combination of infant mortality and women dying in childbirth meant that
Yeah.
the average age was very low. But loads of people lived into the 90s.
Yeah, for sure.
Interesting.
Yeah, average age is I mean, it's like a lot of statistics. It tells a certain story. You have to look at
You have to
the
fill in the
other
context.
things. Yeah. Context. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, Lotruda and Norris. Maybe Darren might join us a bit, or
Yeah,
maybe
for sure.
Darren's just like talking Aoife's ear off.
That's fine with Aoife.
I mean, I think at some point, like, for like a post dinner drink, I think I would view like the five of you, five of you. I tried to count myself in there for a second, then I got confused. Yeah, the five of you would kind of like meet in your tent, I think. So like, Harry had been off studying the portal, and then it started to get dark. And Darren and Aoife were, you know, discussing magic, and then it started to get dark. And so like
And they
everybody
came
kind of
inside.
reconvened for like supper and drinks.
I think the seeing Darren and Norris has like put Lotruda slightly at ease, but they're still like back up, like ready at any point to like have to lash out or fight.
Like
Because
not taking off your leg or your arm when you go to bed tonight, kind of thing. Yeah,
Yeah, they are like behind enemy lines.
yeah. Kind of between like a rock and a hard place too. Like there are multiple enemies going on here because there's
Yes.
anything that pops out of the portal, but also quite possibly like
Giant
snakes in the
missiles.
grass, like in the camp itself. So
I didn't think of things popping out of the portal.
That's what all the fighting is.
Oh yeah. Is that what they're fighting?
Yeah.
Are they actually fighting monsters from the portal?
yeah, there's definitely stuff coming out of the portal every now and then.
That is so Aoife though, like being so amazed by the portal and then like learn.
You're like,
think
what are
of magic
people
and stuff.
fighting anyway? What are they fighting? What monster?
Can't see the wood for the trees.
Do we know what monsters they're fighting?
I mean,
Sounded
you
like
can certainly
bony flesh.
ask.
It's probably pretty random. The portal goes anywhere.
Hey, if you're looking to build some experience up with your
True.
magic, like
We got something nearby that just churns out enemies.
Yeah.
you could spend the night just fighting.
You could. You could join the ranks of the people and like take a oh my gosh, take a shift at the portal. Any of you could do that if you want to fight some stuff.
I mean, we could all do that.
I think Aoife really wants to because she
Yep.
both wants to train but also see what's coming out for herself.
Okay. If that is the plan, I suggest you guys take a long rest,
Okay.
and then we come back next month, and
Okay.
I will have. Well, this one was very exposition and roleplay and social heavy. We'll have a combat heavy, learning stuff about the crap that comes out of the portal.
This is fun for you. You can put literally anything coming out of that portal, and it
I
makes
can't put
sense.
literally anything coming out of the portal. It is very fun that way. I'm excited to do some research for it.
There's
Okay.
one little thing. I did write something to like for Lotruda to say, you know, before we met these, because I knew we were looking for them.
Hmm.
I don't know if I've said it or yet. Have I spoke about the boy with the wisdom on another level? I can't remember.
Not that I know of.
No? Oh, I'll save it for next time then.
Oh. Oh. If Lotruda survives the portal fight.
True.
Lotruda's been very close to dying many times.
True.
There's
Nice.
only
Right.
so many limbs. There's only so many limbs you can lose.
All right. Well, I'm excited to set up a bunch of combats. That'll be fun to do. Also, milestone. You guys can level up for next.
Yay!
Oh,
session.
jeez.
What am I leveling up in? Do I have to pick?
You do
Yep.
have to pick.
You got to pick one.
Okay. I will have a review of them both.
Nice.
sounds
I'm
good.
level 9.
Yes, sirree, Bob.
That's Robert to you,
Oh.
Mrs.
I get a level 5 spell slot.
I get level 3rd spell slot.
That's actually so exciting. So, is this us saying that Harry's sticking around for a bit?
I think so for a bit, yeah.
Okay.
He's not gonna fall
We'll
into
do
the
some
portal.
chatting about what happens to Hordak during this time, but I do have some ideas. So
Okay, sure.
Hordak
Oh,
comes out
that's
the
just lost
portal.
in the spell.
Yeah.
oh shit,
Why
yeah.
did
What
they
if
leave
Hordak
me?
just fell into a portal and then at some point pops out of this one? Ooh,
Everyone's got
God.
their bows drawn.
We kill Hordak.
kill
next session.
Hordak.
Pops out of the portal.
It's a goblin! It's a goblin!
Goblin
That's been
baby.
fun.
All right. Outro time. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. Both people playing and people watching and listening. I hope you guys had a good time. I will be back. Weird day. I'm doing weird stuff next week. I'm gonna be back Monday and Wednesday next week at 9:30 a.m. EST. We're gonna do some Baldur's Gate. We're gonna do some co-working stream. That'll be interesting. We're gonna do Wednesday co-working stream, and then we'll do some Baldur's Gate after that. Monday we're gonna do crochet or paint or something like that, and then some Baldur's Gate. Go check out my like YouTubes and all that stuff. If you have been here for a Reddit scroller before, I'm putting up an edited series of a thing from a Reddit scroller, so go check that out. Also, all of the stuff that I've been doing for Steam Next Fest is going to go up on the gaming YouTube, so go check that out. Join us in the Discord. Follow me on Blue Sky. That's it for me. You guys tell us about yourselves. Red, shout yourself out because you do stuff, and then Chris always has a fun shout out. And...
Hi, I'm Red of Red Rants over on Twitch.tv. I'll be live in like an hour. We're gonna be playing Get to Work today. Gonna finish that up. Maybe I don't know what I'm gonna be doing after I finish that, but then later this evening I'm doing multiplayer Abiotic Factor with a couple friends of mine, and this should be a good time.
My shout out today is for reusing things. You know what? Yeah, that's what it's going to be. Secondhand, like things where you know, I don't know what thrifting. That's what they call it, right?
Yeah.
In across the ocean. Just because someone else has used it doesn't mean it's not good. So try secondhand before you buy new.
Yeah.
Everybody.
And there's
Do you
so
not
many
call it
materials.
thrifting over there?
No, and there's so many materials that you can thrift that are like toilet roll, like
What?
just.
After I'm done with
I
it, no
was-
one else wants to use
I was gonna say that I'd like to add on to secondhand stuff with like using all your scraps in the kitchen. Like keep your like onion peels and carrot peels, make a stock out of that. I'm gonna make my own yogurt because then you never have to buy yogurt. You just have to make sure you have yogurt left so that you can use that as a starter to make more yogurt.
How do you
your
make
own
yogurt?
yeast.
You take a little yogurt, you put it in some milk, and you let her go. There's a little bit more to it, but that's basically how it works. It's kind of crazy. I'm excited. I'll never have to buy yogurt again.
Yeah,
I'll
because
just keep making it from my yogurt.
The yogurt. You
yeah,
just
'cause
expand.
the yogurt bacteria yogurts the milk.
Yeah.
I'm also not sure how I feel about it.
It's like a starter dough, right? Like
Yeah,
you
exactly. It's the same thing as having a starter dough,
Yeah.
like having like sourdough starter in your fridge, or having a ginger bug, which I also want to make, so you can make your own sodas. Kombucha, you take a little kombucha, you put that in with some tea, more kombucha. You build your own SCOBY.
I do not know what words you are saying right now.
Yeah, so if suddenly you hear that I'm single, it's because Chick died in a tragic yogurt accident.
I thought you were gonna leave me because I'm making all this weird food. I was
No,
like,
I'm saying you're gonna
What?
kill yourself by accident with some weird bacteria.
Sounds like
I am frightened, but everybody seems to think that it's really easy. Your mom has made yogurt, and she's not dead. So
Yeah, she's
I think
done
I can
all
make
sorts of weird
yogurt.
stuff.
your
Fair enough.
mum has made my yogurt.
And on that note, use your scraps, go to a secondhand shop, and follow me in hanging out with Luther. Okay, that's it. So I'll see you guys Monday and Wednesday, 9:30 a.m. EST, and then one of the weekend days because I usually do that. And then I will be taking a week off because that's when my work placement starts, and I don't know what that schedule is going to look like. But thank you guys so much for being here. I hope you guys had fun. We had a blast. Catch you next time. Bye. Thank you so much for checking out this video by Chick of All Trades. Don't forget, if you enjoyed, to like, comment, and subscribe. And please don't hesitate to come check us out live on Twitch.